unacceptable. It's absolutely and totally unacceptable. You don't do that. You don't do that in football. You don't do that in life. And I believe the authorities will actually take up the appropriate measures, and I'm sure it's going to be dealt with according to the law.
And in CNR business. Independent power producers threaten power supply cuts to National Grid on July 1 and demand interim payment.
You know, we are very much aware of the consequences, very much aware of the impact this will cause, but the fact is that we are just unable to continue our services.
Now, in our first story, 4 persons, including a 6-year-old boy, have died after they drowned in separate incidents following Wednesday's downpour in the Ashanti region. The bodies were recovered by officials of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, at Atafua, Sepase and Tafo. Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani reports.
Wednesday's downpour, which lasted for close to 3 hours, flooded many parts of the Ashanti region, but luck eluded 3 persons who drowned in separate incidents at Atafua, Tafo, and Sepase. NADMO officials collaborated with officials of the Ghana National Fire Service and some community members to recover the 3 bodies. But on Thursday morning, one other person who tried to find his brother who drowned in the Wednesday's incident also drowned and died. His body has also been recovered, bringing the number of persons who died as a result of the downpour to 4. The Ashanti Regional Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Frank Diodu, confirmed the incident to Citi News.
We have one at Tafo, where a 6-year-old boy, whilst it was raining, his ball got into the rain whilst he was going to pick it up. He was carried away. Then at Atafua, a young boy, 47 years, also got there. Whilst people were waiting for the river to come down before they could cross, he decided that he would do that on his own. Carried his bike. Then by the time he realized, he was washed away together with the bike. And the third one was at Sepase, the Siansi. There is a bridge there, which one also challenged, use a motorbike to cross while the place has flooded. These were the 3 incidents that we did received as at this early morning, where by 8 o'clock, I had then received that of the Tafo. Before 10 p.m., I had also received that Tafua's own. Then this morning, I realized that of the Sepase. So the men were there to do the search and rescue, as the usual thing that we do together with fire. In getting to Atafua this morning, we were told by the chiefs that there is a need to perform some rites. So they poured libation and did some works. They drew our attention. Even some of my guys had then gone far to the upper stream, still on the search. But there are 3 streams that meet at the Atafua bridge there. Only for them to be called back, that they shouldn't try and go far because of what the sacrifice that they are doing. When they finished, the family of the deceased, the one who was carried away last night at Atafua, when they finished, we were told the person who poured the libation told them that no, it has not been accepted and they can't go on the search and rescue. But a family member, which is the elder brother of the one who was carried away last night, decided that he will. Because I'm sure in his mind he was thinking, yesterday rain was so much, and in the morning, once it has come down, it will be easy. He got in less than 10 seconds. He was also nowhere to be found. That is in the Atafua forests, the downstream side of it.
He also expressed concerns about the attitude of members of the general public in contributing to the flooding within the region.
But they look at the stream, the strength of it, before they construct the bridge. Bridge is not just being constructed that you go then you put it up. But those people that they expect, that they've encroached the banks, that they know the activities is causing the flooding, will then come and say the engineers and contractors did not perform. But that is not the case. Let us do our individual path.
The bodies have all been deposited at the morgue, awaiting autopsy. Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Ashanti region.
Now back to the national capital. Police are on a manhunt for 4 armed robbers who attacked a bullion van at Ablekuma Fan Milk Junction. The incident has left 1 police officer who was accompanying the bullion van dead, while residents in the area are traumatized by the shooting incident. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Daniel Sakiti and read by Ni Ayikwe Okai.
According to eyewitnesses, the shooting incident took place between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. as normal business activity was ongoing along the Ablekuma Fan Milk Junction and Ablekuma Curve stretch. The bullion van, with registration number GT 1254-10, was shortly attacked after it had been trailed into the fuel station by the 4 armed robbers who were on motorbikes. They The armed robbers made away with an unspecified amount of money, according to eyewitness. An eyewitness who runs a business in the area has been speaking to Citi News.
We be 1 to 2 more, 130 to 2 more. I'm just saying to me case no me see me tiase. Nti de bi hu on say pe. Nti ya o saso hani na ye pejia ye mu. Ah, na ehu say am robbers na ba ho. Nti no na ehu de ye. Nti preko ape ni hu say ba ko e fiti inside ro abegina anim ha. No on share mass. On share hwe. Nti dem tuen say otututuo no teni o twene ni o tukwa no o tukwa mi no o tukwa left right ah. Nti o toya ma bullet nya den esan ye. And no san yi fufuro no kotoku no clock here. And no san tutu ya anti de mi say wo wura inside ho na baako akita se sako se bago na omode fa ha and on kwatara moto so ntama yenya ye rase no na omadu ye wo baby abro no say ofi Ablekuma Junction kwa baby afon Galilee no modu Galilee ho na omode call ye oh enube seconds operation no enube seconds no modu operation no.
Another eyewitness who had also gone to the fuel station where the shooting incident happened to purchase fuel says he narrowly escaped death as the armed robbers shot through the windscreen.
Me tato fuel wa no. Uma me tabeto fuel wa. Nti me hu say me fuel na abadan. Nti me du ha no no na me ye there me rem na private car fufu to so rem. Ono me nya na rem ba me na me ye first terminal. Na ono de second terminal. Ti gani serve me wie no. O serve me wie na ya kan sen me this kanema no. Nti o ma me change no. All of a sudden me find say nya 2 minutes. Ena white car no, bank car no. Bullion van e be remu. E remu nya 1 minute. And I always say motor sueding about the remo. A moment I want to shoot. In fact, me cry nya adwane. The same 22 kono, masa. Mr. Na me ni tre this side. Into na yes na me there. Me bull seat na me there. Me demu. The story ni na no. Me car, me windscreen no. E fa can body ni my car screen no.
Meanwhile, some residents in the area have been left traumatized by the incident and are calling for the perpetrators to be brought to book.
Very traumatized because he saw my face, he pointed the gun at me, he shot, and then the next attempt he realized that he didn't have bullets, so I saw him failing it, but I had to run, and then he started shooting randomly. So my main concern is I've seen my face, so if he's not caught, he can actually come around and then do something, or maybe his accomplices can actually do something.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service has issued a statement and it reads as follows. The police are on a manhunt to arrest a gang of 4 robbers who attacked a bullion van at Ablekuma Fan Milk, a suburb of Accra, and shot the police escort who has unfortunately passed on. Our prayers and thoughts are with the family of our deceased colleague in particular and all personnel of the police service in general. We wish to assure the public that we will surely get the robbers arrested to face justice. Meanwhile, Star Oil, the oil marketing company whose branch the incident occurred at, has commiserated with family of the deceased. Star Oil in the statement says it is deeply saddened to announce an armed robbery attack at the Ablekuma Fan Milk station on Thursday, June 22, 2023 at approximately 1:30 p.m. The robbers attacked a van a few minutes after it arrived for cash collection at the station. We wish to assure all our customers and the general public that as a responsible organization, we have adequate security systems at our stations to aid police investigations. We also use this opportunity to admonish the general public to exercise caution in publishing unverified accounts of the incident. We will provide further details on this incident after subsequent consultations with the police. We wish to express our sincere sympathies to the family of the deceased police officer and the Ghana Police Service. Now, in some other news, former Secretary of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bissue, has withdrawn one of his suits against the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Lawyers of the former presidential staffer revealed in court this morning that they have instructions from their client to withdraw the application seeking to quash an arrest warrant that was issued against him by the OSP. Now, this comes a day after Charles Bissue reported himself to the OSP and was arrested, interrogated and granted bail. Meanwhile, there are 2 more cases from Charles Bissue against the Office of the Special Prosecutor still pending. The 2 are a human rights case where Charles Bissue is raising allegations of human rights abuse and another challenging the powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate him despite being cleared by the Ghana Police. Now, moving on, the minority leader, Dr. Kazel Atoforsen, has secured a court order to compel the attendance of former Minister of Health, Alex Segbefia, Seydou Kotoma, a former Controller and Accountant General, Patrick Nimo, former Budget Director at the Ministry of Health, to testify as part of his defense. The former Deputy Finance Minister is standing trial for counts of causing financial loss to the state in the purchase of 50 ambulances. Dr. Atoforsen, who was asked by the court to open his defense, has so far called only one witness, an officer from Stanbic Bank who was subpoenaed. However, his lawyers on Thursday revealed in open court the difficulty in securing the attendance of his witnesses, even though some have filed witness statements. The legal team, after bringing this fact to the attention to the court, made the application for the writ of summons. But before that could be moved, Justice Efiasewa Sarebuche urged counsel to take notice that issuing the summons means if the witnesses do not appear, the court is at liberty to issue a warrant for their arrest. Lawyer Dr. Aziz Bamba made the prayer regardless. The court then granted the application for the 3. Now, over the past few months, incidents of violence against Ghanaian referees are on the ascendancy, putting the beautiful game in jeopardy. The latest attack is on a female referee, Abdul Rahman Sakina Nasara, during a Women's Division 1B League match in Tamale. Citi Sports' Evans Sofuchuk-Manso has filed this report on the disturbing rise in abuse and physical attacks targeting local referees.
Referees, the custodians of fair play and integrity on the football pitch, are facing threats to their safety and well-being. On Saturday, June 17, 2023, in a Women's Division 1B League match in Tamale at Game Center 3, female referee Abdul Rahman Sakina Nasara was viciously attacked by Tiyumba Ladies FC head coach Idrisu Suheiru Napari. The match was abruptly halted in the 38th minute due to the coach's invasion of the field and assaults on the referee. The Ghana Football Association swiftly condemned the attack, expressing deep concern. The GFA emphasized that referees play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of the game and called for an immediate end of such behavior. The FA says it will work closely with law enforcement agencies to identify and bring the culprits to justice. Alex Corte is referees manager at the GFA, and he wants an example made of Coach Napari.
We hardly hear of such, incidents in the women's game as compared to the men's game. And so for us, it came to us as a surprise because of some of these things. But then, so for me, I think that going forward, what we have asked the region to do is to pursue this matter, make sure that at least we set an example, we use this man as an example to others who would also even want to think of going or maybe performing such acts. And so we are on the ground, and we are urging the Regional Football Association to ensure that this man is brought to book, at least if some jail sentence is passed. And for this one, we wish to plead that people should not intervene. I mean, they should let the processes and the law enforcement agencies work. I mean, that is the only thing, or that's the only way we can bring some sanity into our game. And so if such thing happens, and then you get people going to play the, chiefs and, all sort of people going to play on their behalf, then of course it will continue. But then if an example is set, if it's punished with jail by a certain period of months or years, I think that it will help, and then it will also bring some sanity into our game.
The assault on referee Sakina Nasara is not an isolated incident. A footballer, Joseph A.J. Oting, has been arrested by the Brekum Divisional Police Command for assaulting an assistant referee, Patrick A.J. Sapon, during a Regional Division 2 League match between Domfete Galaxy FC and Fentata Jenyame FC, played on May 24, 2023. Also in May this year, 14-year-old Catch Them Young referee Elijah Ada was assaulted by football administrator Mohamed Yaya during a juvenile district game between Bolga All-Stars Babies and Boyson FC in the Upper East region. These acts of violence not only endanger the safety of referees, but also undermines the spirit of fair competition that football stands for. Citi News has also been speaking to some key stakeholders in Ghana football on the recent attack on Ghanaian referees.
That is absolutely unacceptable. It's absolutely and totally unacceptable. You don't do that. You don't do that in football. You don't do that in life. And I believe the authorities will actually take up the appropriate measures, and I'm sure it's going to be dealt with according to the law. It's embarrassing. I'll say, and definitely the law would have to take its course. Fortunately, the laws of football and the laws of the land have got very clear provisions for such acts, and I'm sure they will take the due course.
However isolated they are, they must be condemned. If you are not happy about a referee decision, that doesn't give you the right to attack. There are remedies that you need to seek for. We've all watched Maradona scoring a goal with a hand. It was accepted. The referee was accordingly punished. We have seen England scoring a goal in South Africa World Cup because there was no goal line technology. The goal was disallowed. And they didn't go killing people because of that. So I'll be the first to condemn that and then urge the police and the GFA to take up the matter, get the culprit, and get him punished according to the rules. We must set the right precedents for others to copy, so that I will not accept the beating of a referee or any attack on a referee. I will not accept it, and I will urge the GFA and the police to take action.
It's just sad, and I see no reason why, because of a referee's mistake, or you think that officiating didn't go your way, you have the guts to attack a referee, be it a female referee or a male referee, or be it a juvenile referee or a premiership referee. If you all want to develop the game of football in Ghana, then some of these things must be taken care of. And maybe the FA has not beaten enough in previous cases. It is high time that referees or people who attack referees are arrested and prosecuted. Once we do that, it will serve as a deterrent to others not to repeat same mistakes. It's just upset. I read a story online and I was like, wow, how can a coach of a team attack a female referee? I think that guy must be arrested. I'm told he's been arrested. The laws of the country, Ghana, would have to deal with him drastically to serve as a deterrent to others.
It's important for the various stakeholders in football, be it players, coaches, administrators, fans and referees, to embrace the values of sportsmanship, respect and fair play in our game. Reporting for Citi News, I am Evans Ofochu Manso.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom, still to come. Speaker of Parliament condemns taxation of sanitary pads as cardinal sin and urges government action. We'll have the details coming up shortly. Please stay.
Finally, anyone can become a house owner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. You Go Flip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Hello again. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Bagban, has strongly criticized the imposition of taxes on sanitary pads, describing it as a cardinal sin. The issue was brought to the attention of Parliament through a petition submitted by various civil society organizations urging the removal of taxes on sanitary pads. Expressing his deep dissatisfaction with the taxation of sanitary pads, the Speaker emphasized the need for immediate government action to address this concern. Citi News' Ni Ayikwin Okan reports.
A group consisting of civil society and non-government organizations on Thursday marched up at the entrance of Parliament wearing red shirts and wielding placards which suggest that they are not in support of taxes imposed on sanitary pads by the government. Subsequently, the group petitioned Parliament urging the House to take steps in ensuring that the taxes are scrapped.
This is about the taxes on sanitary pads. We are saying that it needs to go away. We can't continue something as basic and, humanity at its core, at its base, like parents. I mean, of all the natural things there are, this is the most natural. You can talk about condoms. I've heard arguments about condoms. Somebody can't choose to use a condom or not. I've heard people talk about giving birth, childbirth. I'm like, you can choose to have a child or not. When it comes to periods, I mean, as a female, as soon as you hit a certain age, whether you want to or you don't want to, you will have your periods. There's no choice here. It just is that natural. So, I mean, taxing sanitary pads at best is unquestionable. It's something that should not happen. And we are not just talking taxes, we are talking luxury taxes. I mean, what is luxury about wanting to manage your period? All of us have sent petitions and things like that over time. Nothing has happened with them. Today we are here, representatives, to show our displeasure. If nothing is done, we will keep demonstrating and we will come back in our numbers.
Reacting to the petition on the floor of Parliament, the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, said the imposition of taxes on sanitary pads was a cardinal sin.
I just had to suspend the House because we had a group picketing outside, and I invited the leadership, and the issue they raised was a very serious issue. My attention was drawn to it already. Why should we, as members, honorable member, why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? This is unconscionable. It's a cardinal sin. The House shouldn't have allowed it at all. This House shouldn't have allowed it. You know the impact of that law on the human resource development and on the development of this country. It's immeasurable. That is why I suspended sitting and had to attend to them. I have a copy of the petition, and we have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister proposing that thing to take it off. The next budget, it must not appear, it cannot be a tax. Please, I take a very serious view on this matter.
In a statement on the floor of Parliament, the Minority Chief Whip Gavins Agboja urged the House to summon the Minister for Works and Housing to appear before the House and apprise legislators on measures being taken by the government to address perennial flooding in Accra.
The news reports suggest that a lady and two of her kids are currently missing since yesterday. I take the opportunity to commend the agencies still working to hopefully find them alive. We are also aware that some people are injured and lots of properties have been damaged. Mr. Speaker, we want to take the opportunity to commiserate with our colleague, Honorable Sly Tete, who is a member of Parliament from that area. I suspect he's within the area now, trying to do whatever he can do as a member of Parliament to help his people. We also understand that areas like parts of Ofankor and Ashalaja, some areas have been cut off completely because of the flooding. And Mr. Speaker, the rains have just started. The Wager Dam is yet even to be spilled, and this calls for this House to probably call upon our respected colleague, the Minister responsible for Works and Housing, to apprise the House as to what steps he is taking to avert further damage and loss of life. Mr. Speaker, you yourself have been credited in the past for being a minister when you were the Works and Housing Minister for spearheading aggressive desilting of our major drains in Accra. We are told currently that for the past 3 years, there hasn't been any major desilting of the major drains in Accra. And that is why I feel it is very important for the minister to apprise us.
More often than not, it occurs, the matters occur, and then we tend to call on Speaker Your Good Self to make a referral, or rather expect the minister, the sector minister, to be called upon the House to apprise the House. And so what? It's high time our committee leaders also get a bit proactive. These disasters have been occurring. I mean, sparingly, but it's been occurring in various places. We expected the Committee on Works and Housing to at least by now start visiting some of these places and also coming to brief the House. Well, for us to wait until the disaster occurs before we come and be calling on the minister to come and apprise us, it's also unfortunate. But be it as it may, Speaker, I want to support my colleague on the call.
Minister responsible for Works and Housing be programmed by the Business Committee to appear before the House together with the Minister for Finance and to give us a brief on action being taken to make this a thing of the past. And so we expect that latest before the end of next week, these ministers should appear before us. If the substantive minister is not there, there is a minister of state at the Ministry of Finance who could come to represent him. I was informed that the substantive minister is traveled, but in case he's not available, the other minister could come to represent him. Honourable members, this is a very important subject matter, and I believe that one of the ways we could support national leadership to find solution is for us to pass the Budget Act. Honourable members, it's a very important subject matter. Because since I entered Parliament in 1993, we've had so many statements of this nature almost every year. And we are not finding solutions to the problem. And I think it starts from the priority setting. Priority setting. And Parliament must be involved.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayikwe Okain for Citi News.
Now, away from Parliament, members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum have resumed picketing at the Finance Ministry. The protest is to demand payment of 6 outstanding coupons. This follows a 2-week suspension of the protest, where the government was allowed to settle 4 principals and coupons. The following report has more details.
The sight of retirees holding up placards and singing the national anthem at the premises of the Finance Ministry has become a regular feature since the government introduced the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. A group of retirees formed the Pensioner Bondholders Forum to oppose their inclusion in the debt exchange. After several weeks of protests and upon the intervention of Parliament, the government granted them exemption from the Domestic Debt Exchange Program.
Mr. Speaker, I subsequently wrote to their convener letting him know, Mr. Speaker, that all pensioners who did not participate in the bond offering are exempted. Mr. Speaker, I pray that puts paid to the need for our senior citizens to picket at the ministry.
This exemption signified an assurance from the government that when coupon and principals are due, payments would be made without delay. However, the government has not fully fulfilled this promise, leading to a resumption of the protest.
In fact, legally, they shouldn't just default. They should just pay. And then, if you are not able to pay, then say something. I mean, say something that you think of human being. You don't know where I got my money from. Everybody here work for his money. Everybody here work for his money. I'll give you an example. I work in America over 2 decades. I wasn't spending my money. I was saving it to use it at this.
Last month, after meeting with the government, the group agreed to a suspension of the picketing and a 2-week grace period for the government to settle 4 outstanding principals and some coupons. Upon the expiration of the 2-week period, The pensioners say they are satisfied with how government has handled the payments of the principals, but 6 coupons now remain. They have therefore resumed the picketing. On Thursday, convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edouard Nanientri, told Citi News that a return to picketing was to prevent another accumulation of coupon payments.
We were here last 2 weeks because there were 4 outstanding principals and 5 outstanding coupons. We resolved that. Government asked for 2 weeks to pay the coupons. We agreed. Government has done that. Government said they were going to pay the coupons immediately. And those were coupons up to 29th. And we said, well, go ahead. And at that time, government said that June 1, those that were coming up, it has directed the Controller and Accountant General to prioritize subsequent payment of these coupons. So we believe that after the 29th one, which was May, the June ones were going to be paid as and when they were due, because you have asked the Controller and Accountant General to prioritize that. We waited for the 5th June one to be paid. We didn't hear anything. The next week, there were no coupons due. So we have to wait again for another week. Last Monday, 4 more coupons has become due, now making 6. If government says it has directed the Accountant General to prioritize the payment, we don't think if that is being done, the payment will now start still falling into arrears. You have 2 now. June 5th, you haven't paid, even though you say you have given instruction for the prioritization to be done. Nothing was paid. 4 more has become due. We waited Monday, we didn't see any signs. We waited Tuesday, we didn't see any signs. We waited Wednesday, we didn't see any signs. And then we have to be here because that's what we have said.
The pensioner bondholders have also been demanding interest payments on the principals, which had delayed for over 3 months. They are, however, yet to receive a response to a letter sent to the Finance Ministry a week ago.
Well, we have written to the government to demand officially, to demand the interest payment. We are expecting a response from government. We haven't received a response. We are waiting a little. If we don't, we will send a reminder that we want a response to that letter. When we get that response, then we decide what to do with it. And we have said we will treat that matter as an administrative justice matter. That government, this is your own citizens. You have their money. They have given you your money. They have given you their money for development projects. The time has come for you to give to them. You couldn't give it to them. You have deprived them of the opportunity to reinvest this same money and take care of themselves, especially these elderly people. If somebody's money is with you for 3 months, you have kept the money 3 months, and you ask yourself, how would that elderly person survive?
The resumption of the protest is to essentially prevent a situation where coupons overly accumulate. And so the pensioners say government has until close of day today to pay up some of the outstanding 6 coupons. Otherwise, they picket here again tomorrow. My name is Charles Tosukumi. I've been reporting from the Finance Ministry for Citi News.
This is the Citi Newsroom. I'm Frima Edunyame. Still to come. 4 churches fined 12,000 Ghana cedis for flouting ban on drumming and noise making. We'll be back shortly. Please stay.
Yes, we are back. Wines of South Africa, Rossa, is back in Ghana for the biggest wine show ever. Date, Saturday 15th July at the Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Time, 7 p.m. sharp. Wines of South Africa Grand Tasting Event 2023 is proudly brought to you by Wines of South Africa and John Williams Consults Ghana. This event is sponsored by Ghana Export Promotion Authority and Best National Bank. Partners, South African High Commission, Accra, South African Airways, and Labadi Beach Hotel. Media partners, AmailDebra.com, Citi FM, Citi TV, Voyage Afrique Magazine, and Ovation Magazine. Don't miss out on this extraordinary event by securing your tickets now at worcester2023.eventbrite.com or call 0553-271-032. Remember to come celebrate with Wines of South Africa, Saturday, 15th July 2023, 7 p.m. at Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Wines of South Africa, welcome to our world of discovery. Strictly by invitation and reserved for 18 years and above.
Thanks for staying. Now, 4 churches have cumulatively been fined an amount of 12,000 Ghana cedis for flouting the ban on drumming and noise making. Additionally, the churches will be required to present 1 sheep each and a box of schnapp, Castle Bridge, to the Ga Traditional Council registry. The Ga Traditional Council says this should serve as a lesson for religious groups who flout the annual ban on drumming and noise making. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Daniel Sakiti and read by Charles Owusukumi.
The ban on drumming and noise making, which precedes the annual Homowo Festival, was this year generally peaceful, as the usual clash between the task force and faith-based organizations as well as individuals was not recorded. However, some churches such as the St. Margaret Mary Catholic Church, Dansuman Snit Flat, Faith Independent Baptist Church, Kotobabi, Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Abekala Pass, and the head office of Winners International were deemed to have flouted the ban and were subsequently summoned to appear before Nimei of the Ga Traditional Council on June 22. Appearing before the court of the Ga Traditional Council on Thursday, representatives of the Faith Independent Baptist Church, in presenting their case before the council, indicated that the church used microphones at reduced volumes, while they also moved their speakers, which were initially outside, into the church premises during the month-long ban. But the court, presided over by the Jamestown Sempe Manche and Mankralo of the Ga State, Ni Adote Otinto II, insisted that this was in contrast to the original directive on the ban on drumming and noise-making, which stated that the ban affects any form of noise-making, including the use of loudspeakers and other musical instruments. For the St. Margaret Mary Catholic Church, the subsequent directive from the Chieftaincy Ministry and the signed agreements between the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quarte and faith-based organizations to allow for the use of public address systems at reduced volumes made them use public address systems and musical instruments, even though they had in the past been totally observing the ban as directed by the Ga Traditional Council. They therefore appealed to the Ga Traditional Council to pardon them. The Traditional Council, in reacting to this, said they issued counter-statements against the subsequent directives which sought to vary the terms in observing the ban on drumming and noise-making, which spanned between May 15 to June 15, 2023. The court, after hearing from the 4 churches, initially fined each 5,000 Ghana cedis, 1 cow and a box of schnapps, but said due to the plea they will reduce it to 3,000 cedis, a sheep and a box of schnapps. Head of the task force which enforces the ban on drumming and noise-making, and also Asere Clan Wulomo, Numo Nikoi Amasa II, in a Citi News interview, said this should serve as a lesson to other religious bodies who flout the annual ban on drumming and noise-making. He added that some churches and individuals who fail to honor the summons to appear before the Ga Traditional Council will also be dealt with.
For now, I cannot come to shake o mo fiamun baton isani ene alu isani ene eya ge mo ko ye ni ibaton ne ko le ele mo ko ye ni ibaton ne yin kan ijo mo ke ba ewe mo mi onaka o mene ele ne fi alo ele ne yin pe no alo yin kan wo fense ni akena boni esani akemo eya no obabo wo tue ake anamba follow kan follow chemele gbeja no to na ba to ye isana mekene kase ni akeshi gan machine kusun yem ni mo ko efe kusun ni mo fi amo kote man ko no kusun yo mo ba yi no wo fe gbe me ko meto ji wo ka she bi e ama wo yi no ne ke tu jola ba wo fe no ji no wo yo no wa ka me.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. Up next is CNR Business with Nashika Caesar.
Hello and welcome to CNR Business with me, Nashika Caesar. To our first story, independent power producers have notified the Minister of Finance to cut power supply to the national grid beginning July 1, 2023 if the government does not give them an interim payment of 30% of their outstanding arrears. The IPPs at an emergency meeting agreed that if they do not receive their payment, they will not have the capacity to produce power beyond June 20. Now, members of the IPP chamber say that they are now unable to persuade their creditors, contractors and other essential stakeholders to further withhold payment and maintain operations over what is owed them. Chief Executive Officer of the Independent Power Producers, Distributors and Bulk Consumers, Alec Plim Apetobo, has been speaking to CNR Business.
We've not received any response officially from the earlier ones sent. Well, from the very onset, we indicated our difficulties, our frustrations. You remember we wrote earlier in March, around 27th of March, indicating our frustration doing business with ECG. Basically, we are not receiving payment for our services. And the second reminder or second follow-up went, we have on the same subject, we've not received any feedback on that. And we are sending a final reminder that we are not able to stretch ourselves beyond June 30th. It's just simple, we are unable to continue operation. We are very much aware of the consequences, very much aware of the impact this will cause. But the fact is that we are just unable to continue our services. And the issue is that when we are, excuse me to say, when we are managing any economy, any public economy, your essential services providers must always be your priority. They should be the last group of persons or the last group of institutions to be treated this way. The fact is we just lack the resource. Why should we take pride in shutting down the power plants? No, we know the consequences. So we are not just doing it for doing its sake.
Now, telecommunication network Airtel Tigo has changed its brand name to AT effective Thursday. The name change will apply to all its staff brands, AT Money, AT Business, AT Premier and AT Insurance. The following report has more.
In November 2017, Airtel and Tigo merged to form a single company known as Airtel Tigo. Following the merger, the company has operated under the name Airtel Tigo, providing a range of telecommunication services, including data, mobile money, and mobile voice services. To streamline communications and branding efforts, the company will now be referred to as AT in all future interactions. This change will apply to all communication channels, marketing materials, and branding initiatives. However, the brand colors will remain unchanged. During a roundtable discussion, Leos Kalatos, Chief Executive Officer of Airtel Tigo, clarified that this rebranding only affects the brand name and logo and will not have any impact on the management structure, products or services of the company.
So you'll start seeing new branding. Welcome. We'll start seeing new branding all around at our shops, this building itself, plus all our shops. the various posters and everything that goes up. So everybody should be able to clearly identify that the company formerly known as Airtel Tigo has now become AT. This company now lives up to our brand promise and constantly strives for simplicity. So the name AT perfectly encapsulates that simplicity. And we hope this will resonate strongly with all of our customers.
Now, the Ghana Shippers Authority has bemoaned the high cost of doing business at Ghana's ports as shippers paid $24 million in demurrage cost in just 2022 alone. This cost incurred by the shipping lines followed delays in the clearance of goods. The authority in the Western region is therefore pushing for a reduction in operational cost at the Takoradi ports, maintaining that this concern calls for urgent stakeholder resolution. Akwese Jenim has the rest of the story.
With shipping driving every aspect of a country's economy, the Ghana Shippers Authority organized a Shippers Forum in Takoradi to address issues affecting shipping in Takoradi. Speaking at the forum, the Western Regional Manager of the Ghana Shippers Authority expressed high cost of doing business at the port as a concern.
The reality is that trade volumes at the ports appear not to have seen any major improvements over the years. This disturbing trend can largely be attributed to the high cost of doing business at the port, amongst others.
The director of Takoradi Port, Peter Amubediakun, while speaking at the forum, admitted the concerns of shippers, but added that some of the cost is self-inflicted by shippers and their agents.
There are issues with regarding, for example, container demurrage charges. As you can see, the Shippers Authority's research indicates that it has dropped from $96 million per year to about $24 million last year.
That's all for CNL Business. My name is Nashika Caesar.
And this is where we part company. But before we take leave of you, here is a look again at our top stories. Armed robbers attack Bullion van in Ablekuma Fanmilk Junction, leaving police officer dead. Meanwhile, police launch manhunt. Speaker of Parliament condemns taxation of sanitary pads as cardinal sin and urges government action. Charles Bissiou withdraws suit against Special Prosecutor's Office following arrest. And rising violence against Ghanaian referees threatens football integrity with female referee assaulted in disturbing incident. You can visit our website citinewsroom.com for more news updates. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. Thank you for watching. I'm Frima Edunyame.
competition. From the shores to the pools to the beaches across the land, if you fancy yourself a competitive swimmer, this is for you. The Citi TV National Swimming Championships is happening on the 15th and the 16th of July 2023 at the Trust Sports Emporium. To register, WhatsApp your name, age and contact details to 0558 973 973 or call 0205 973 973. The Citi TV National Swimming Championships is brought to you by Citi TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and the Ghana Swimming Association. They transported us to another world with their first thrilling R&B live performances last week.
Sexy love.